94558.
Built an N scale. I've been building it since last August. First time you guys probably have heard of it. So I'll go ahead and just make a video of it. So, first of all, the track plan is basically a double main line. Right now, it's just a double main line that goes all the way around. Eventually, I'll be moving this into the garage, which will be around the summer. So, wait for that. There's a couple things I'll be redoing. First, I'm gonna redo this. I don't like it. I'll take out the rocks, the tunnel portals, and have it kind of expand all the way through here and make this into a tunnel. And then I can make the panel off of the mountain. Just take that off, so that I can actually have another switchboard here, which would be pretty cool. Also, I'm gonna put a city here eventually. Also, a train yard here. I've already installed a working turntable. This is how it works, basically. Those you Phylon enthusiasts know about, or Siren enthusiasts know about collector ring assemblies. Well, this was a kit that came with one. Unfortunately, I don't like collector rings very much. Instead, trashed it, got a speaker plug, and it basically supplies power to the track while this spins in place. Not motorized, but still pretty cool. This is what it looks like underneath. This is the other end of the speaker plug and a bracket. I can take this off. This is removable for maintenance, making it efficient. This is the long bracket. It's a pain in the ass getting that in there. Wires coming down. Those will connect to the main track power supply. So there we go. And this basically plugs in like a speaker wire. There we go. This can spin around while still supplying power to the track, as can also be seen by these wires. There's going to be a roundhouse that'll be over here. These houses are basically just being stored right now. I'll attach them to the layout later. These are the only in-scale buildings I really own. And only one of these I've actually put together. And that's this one. Also, this is obviously a double main line. Don't know if I mentioned it. The inner loop is going to be for more yard operations. Outer loop is going to be for regular running. There are a total of 2 crossovers to connect each other together. There's this crossover and then there's that crossover. There are many switches placed in here. I have a lot of switches right now because I did have to take this section apart. If you look by this kind of paint shadowy effect, that's what the yard used to look like. Now it's going to be looking like it's going to be straighter. And I think I'm going to have the turntable actually connect into it. That would be kind of cool. Just have one track that goes off. Anyway, back to the point. Inner loop's going to go like this. There's going to be a switch that comes off there. And then it's just going to go around and on the rest of here. I do have enough track to do it. I have enough roadbed to do the outer loop, which I've already kind of done. But unfortunately, I don't have enough roadbed to do the inner loop yet. Of course, roadbed is pretty easily obtainable. I just gotta go to the hobby shop and get that. I'm basically just gonna build a yard here and finish this whole turntable setup. And if you're wondering why there's switches here, I'm gonna eventually add maybe 3 more additions in the layout. and that's after I move this into my garage. One will be kind of like about the size of this, just ironically, and this will turn into just a bypass, and this will connect back into the expanded main line. Right now, will be used for train operating. Unfortunately, certain locomotives can't make this kind of radius right here. Kind of sucks. I tried my best, but only certain diesel locomotives can really get through there at this point. So let's talk about this end of the layout. This is the better end, because this was my experimental end, and this was my better end. This is the staging yard. I detailed it anyway, because it's right there out in the open. Might as well detail it. I ballasted it. I put the track down, obviously. How it works, first of all, these two tracks are separate electrical blocks, which are controlled by these two switches. Now, basically, you can turn by this diagram. I have to get down here. This is track 1, so that's this long spur right here. And you can turn the power to that track on or off. For track 2, you can turn which is the shorter one, you can turn it on, off, or set it to the program mode connected to my MRC Prodigy wireless DCC system. I also have a DC system that you can switch off from here. So I can do DC power, or neutral. DC is if, let's say, I were to have somebody come over with a DC N-scale locomotive, I can turn it to the DC section. However, I use the DCC more often with my, obviously, DCC locomotives. So, I finally got that for Christmas, so, yeah. Up here, okay, 6 minutes. This part, this is what I call an incline crossover, which is connected to the outer loop. Basically, this will go up until it reaches another switch. And then from there, it will make an entire loop around, outlining the main line. This will be for maybe passenger lines and other stuff like that. This is made so everything's connected, but you can still run multiple trains at once. Here, you basically put on the train here, have it go out, and then have it go onto here, go onto the crossover. After it makes it over the crossover, you flip the switch, which will be here, and then it can go around. Same thing for the outer loop and the inner loop. However, the inner loop I think I'll just use for yard operating. This is the feed wires, just right here, just to show. Those were new. The old ones were somewhere around here, and this whole section was made of Snaptrack before. But I'm starting to go away from Snaptrack and go into FlexTrack due to, obviously, flexibility, and also because there'll be less joints, which is less possibility of derail and less maintenance. So it'll be very efficient. There'll be a yard here, and these couple of switches I'll use for the yard. And this part here, that switch and the switch there, will both turn out and then create a double main line all the way, and then we'll connect back into there. And basically, a lot of these loops, like that outer loop there, and this outer loop here, will serve as a bypass and no longer as an actual part of the main line, besides the fact that it's connected to it. The reason these sections of track are disconnected are because there used to be switches that would connect the inner loop back into the outer loop here, back into the inner loop, and then it'd just be one simple main line up until there. And the outer loop basically was just kind of a really long passing siding. However, I kind of had a change in heart, and I feel that if I kept it like that, I probably wouldn't be very happy with it. Because I want to run as much trains as possible.